Hi, everybody. This is Brian Leonard, Executive Director at Hasbro Studios. Thanks for joining us for the DVD commentary of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Why don't we kind of go around the room and introduce who's on the line?
This is Robert Fuchs. I work at Hasbro Studios, like Brian. Been on My Little Pony since the beginning.
This is Jason Thiessen. I'm the supervising director of My Little Pony, and I as well have been on it from the beginning.
I'm Nicole Oliver. I play Princess Celestia and Shirley, and I'm still here.
I'm Kathy Westlock, and I play the voice of Spike and the Mayor, and I've had a great time.
I'm Andrea Libman, and I play Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy.
Hey, I'm Tabitha St. Germain, and I play Rarity, and I play Princess Luna.
Shh! I'm telling everybody about how it all started.
Yeah, this is the illustration sequence that we had an artist paint up. I think it was Pamela Prostar who painted these pictures. Did a very good job.
Yeah, Jason, any sort of inspiration for the style of this open? Because it's sort of different from the aesthetic of the show.
Yeah, we worked with Lauren, and she really wanted to do this illustration storybook opening, and she kind of didn't really have anything too specific, but we worked with our art directing team, and they came up with a basic idea, and then Pamela Prostar took that and painted it up, and she added a lot to it as well. It was hard to keep it down to a couple of minutes.
Yes, I remember very well. I think the original version was 2 hours and 29 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
No, that is a joke.
Yeah, but these a lot of times these episodes do run a little long. We have to edit them down to the broadcast time, but we always do.
Act faster.
Yeah, that was a common comment, wasn't it? Say it a little faster.
I got a lot of studying to
Act faster and better.
Yeah, I remember. Hey, there's my name. Had to point that out.
Yes, the best part of commentaries is where you talk about what you see.
Yeah.
Look, it's me!
Here comes Twilight bouncing along again.
Oh, there's Twilight.
Wait, where's Spike? I don't see him. Oh, there he is!
No, that was me doing you.
There he got knocked pretty hard.
There you are.
Kathy's eyes do that in real life, too. No, I'm joking.
Thanks, Nicole.
You're welcome. I love you.
When Spike came into the picture, I always thought he was a little bit more of a baby than when I started. And so the first show actually was kind of reflecting some of that with him, being so wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and, wanting to nap and things like that. And as it went along, he evolved to becoming a little bit more of a, quote, big boy, and all the challenges came with that. So it was fun to watch him from my perspective as the actor develop from the first show and see how things moved from there.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute.
Yeah, they've all come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how when Twilight does her magic, she doesn't have any kind of glow around it. When we first started doing this show, we didn't really have any idea of how the magic works in the world yet. We were still developing it. So we just had sparkles, and over time we started coming up with more sophisticated ways to show the magic, because a lot of times on screen it was hard to tell what was being affected by it. So we came up with more of a glowy look around it, but in this first episode we don't see that.
And I think what's interesting for us too as the actors is that because we're doing the voicing without any pictures, we rely so much on the script and each other and the reactions of each other, and as Jason's talking about the visuals, etc., we sort of have to visualize as we go and just respond and react and act to whatever's happening around us. So when we do get a chance to see it, it's a lot of fun, and it helps us to sort of continue and develop as we go. So from our perspective,
check out inside that
glass.
Inside that hourglass.
Yeah,
that was a little add-in that we put in there at the end. We wanted a little something ominous to set up Nightmare Moon.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, Woody and I did that, trying to do some sort of cool little foreshadowing there.
And the coloration is great. I mean, since the My Little Ponies of the past, I mean, it's changed from my perspective since the early days. And, I think it's a wonderful combination of, as far as the coloration's concerned, a combination of things compared to what it used to be. But it's also very engaging, and it's also really different. It stands out. It's very, very modern. And that's a change from the past. It's advanced quite a bit.
As well.
Yeah, and technology, the technical side of things.
I remember this sequence too inside Twilight's dorm. The original backgrounds were a lot more detailed. They had a lot of like different little details on the walls and stuff, and we originally had a hard time seeing the action because it was so detailed. So Lauren and us, and we had to go through and just pull everything out of the background so that Twilight and Spike would actually stand out. Otherwise, you couldn't tell what was going on.
Love that top-down shot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love the depth. That was one thing that was really great about this being in Flash. We could separate layers in the backgrounds and everything and really get that sense of depth and field and like how big and broad the world is.
And Spike's just going on and on, telling all about it. Setting up the show, obviously, in the first episode is so important, and from the perspective of the actors too, we also learn as we go. The breadth of it all, just simply by the content of the script. So it's fun to see what transpires even within the first episode.
We're still figuring out a lot of stuff. Oh, here comes Pinkie Pie.
Mm-hmm.
Love her hairdo.
Her first words are...
I think we actually may have the same hairdresser, to be
Those
honest
gasps are hard to do, It's like you feel like your throat's burning.
Oh.
with you. I know mine does feel that way sometimes.
It's true.
As Spike, that is.
The first color Pinkie Pie I saw, she had wings.
What?
Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah, in the
remember.
original design.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That would just be too crazy.
Mhm.
She's already flying around enough.
Exactly.
Too much competition for Rainbow Dash.
I love her movement vocabulary.
Who needs wings when you can defy the fourth wall? I mean, really, you don't need it.
That's right.
I like the debates of who's faster, Rainbow Dash or Pinkie Pie.
That's right. That's right. Well, it depends what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Well, what I like about the show, watching it as a performer, is just the energy is so constant, even if it's contained. It matches the movement of the pictures and the action, but the energy is fantastic.
But that's what it's like in a recording session, right? I don't know about you, but I sweat sometimes because we have to keep up the pace and keep the energy so high. And then my favorite moments is when we maybe bobble a little bit, but you're never going to see that up there.
I would just wonder how Andrea feels when she goes home at night.
Crazy.
I stand next to her, and so do I.
Sorry, Tabitha. Oh, look, there's Tab. There's Granny. Hello, myself. How are you?
Poor Granny.
It's really meta, Tabitha. I know, it's meta.
I think Granny's first words were completely indecipherable.
Shit, what did you mean by that?
I think she was supposed to say, what? Soup's on, or something like that. And
I left
That's
my
true to form.
teeth in the glass
Yeah.
at home now.
And all the ponies in the crowd scenes too, Jason. Like every time we see it actually animated, it's always fascinating to see what you guys do with that, because the color combos and the little differences, that's a lot of work.
certainly is. And we're just trying to keep up with the scripts. A lot of times, when I first read this script, I was looking at it and went, whoa, how are we going to do this? I was worried, but we managed through it. It was a learning process for sure. There was so much to develop and figure out in this first couple episodes. But Lauren really knew what she wanted.
I have a
And that's-
question,
that's
Jason.
Yeah?
So now, when we saw the ponies with the chariot, they were kind of like running in the air. And did you have debates about that, whether to just fly or to run and fly at the same time?
Tabitha thinks about these things.
I would say
night.
I take my cues from every Santa Claus movie I've ever
Oh,
seen.
nice.
You know, the reindeer run in the air.
Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
right.
Pegasus
Exactly.
too? And
See what Rudolph's done to us.
Rainbow Dash.
Well, they're kind of related, but not really.
Because Rainbow doesn't. She just flies. She doesn't run in the air, right?
Well, she's not pulling anything.
Okay, all right. Got that.
It's for added force.
effort.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the body language. Pinky's bounce just kills
That
me.
is so sweet with the boinks. Boink, 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 boink.
And the
So
rabbit
cute.
bounce, too?
Yeah.
Her rabbit's bounce?
Well, a lot of those were developed right at the very beginning. We knew we were going to do a whole series of ponies running and jumping and galloping. We were like, let's figure that out first. So we had animators, our animation supervisors actually, animate the gallops and the bounce. I knew Pinkie Pie should have a bounce, so we developed that right at the beginning. And so the animators had reference for how they move and stuff. And thankfully, all the ponies are the same body, essentially, so we could reuse it.
A form of looping.
Yeah.
That
Secrets.
Yeah.
comes in handy for that scene with all the apples.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
for
many
sure.
bodies and
We had to invent ponies for that. There was actually a lot more ponies in that back when they were introducing the Apple family. A lot of them we couldn't trademark, apparently, so we had to cut some down.
Wow.
All those names.
Yeah, Apple's a very popular name, apparently.
oh,
Look
apple.
at the hair on
Here
her.
comes a very special pony.
And look at the background design, the
I know.
details. The details are quite amazing.
Oh, yes, it is a special pony.
Rarity! Please notice me!
Hello, squishy bug.
And Spike was in love with her from the very moment he saw
The
her.
very moment,
That's
yeah.
funny.
And you know, as the shows went on, I kept thinking, wouldn't he be more sort of attracted in a way to Fluttershy? Because he's kind of a big boy
'Cause that's
and
how
he's
you feel,
brave.
Kathy?
That's how I feel, yes. I do like Fluttershy. No, but he was a brave little boy, and you know, Rarity's kind of out of his reach, but I guess that's the way it is, right?
That's
typical, yeah,
typical.
right.
Yeah, that's how love works. Don't I know it?
Brian.
No. Too green. Too yellow. Too poofy. Not poofy enough. Too frilly. Too.
I should also point out, I should mention the board artists who worked on this episode. There was Mike West and Sharon Johnson. They were the first two out of the gate. And
No pressure.
no pressure.
Yeah. They did an awesome job.
Yeah, they did. And it was hard because, you know, we just didn't exactly know, you know, what we were doing at the beginning. And so it was a lot of trial and error. But you know, we just kept working at it and revising and making Lauren happy and ourselves. And it really worked, I think.
Yeah, because first episodes, you usually see them and you're like, ooh, wow, I wish that could be better. But really, Pony, out of the gate, just blew everyone away. It was just so polished.
Yeah.
This was the
And
right
we
formula.
recorded the first episodes first, because often, sometimes in other cartoon shows, you kind of do further episodes and you come back to those first ones after you've had a chance to kind of figure everything out. And
Yeah.
and that was something as an actor I went, oh, okay, well, that's what's going to be, I guess.
And
It turned out great, though. It was great.
what I find amazing is that that we had to, because it's a big story, and yet all of the characters are established, and you understand them fully in one.
Yeah.
You know, and it's situational. It's not because somebody comes in and says, I'm fussy. You know, it's you just see them. You
had to-
see them interacting in
You
the way.
learn about their behavior by watching their behavior.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that shows Lauren Faust's vision and
Yeah.
how accurate that was, and yeah, the expertise behind that.
I think as an actor, though, I had a lot of comfort walking in and seeing you all. Because we've worked, especially you, Kathy, because we've worked together on things. So it was like, oh, great, and yeah, so that really made it really, really comfortable.
But it was also so nice to have such clear definitions of who
Absolutely.
the characters were, and not having to find it so much as usual. So it was nice. It's like, your character is X, Y, Z, or Z.
Yeah, especially when you're doing two characters that are main,
Yeah.
like Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. They're so opposite each other, but it's both you, and you can have conversations with yourself.
Well, now I can, but at
Yeah.
first
Yeah, it was
not so much.
probably a bit tricky.
And it took a lot of work to really separate them and make them very distinct.
It usually seems to take about 3 to 5 shows to really sort of establish, the differences and get a sense of it, I guess.
Yeah. It's even especially hard when Fluttershy has to yell or scream or something, because as soon as you pitch up your voice and do that, it sounds like
It gets
Pinkie
into
Pie.
Pinkie Pie zone.
Yeah, so you have to
And
like
it's out of
whisper
character
shout.
for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish my hair looked like that. I mean, it does. It does look like that.
And I want to live in a tree.
Maybe someone will build one for you.
That would be nice.
I want Twilight's library.
I think for me what was so wonderful too is just getting the relationship down with Twilight Sparkle, because the two of us came from a different land and we're coming into a new land. And yet the interesting thing about it is that Tara Strong isn't in the same studio with us, and having to sort of create that connection with the help of the directors and everyone and the writers and make that happen was a challenge in some ways, but at the same time, again, it was written so well that it wasn't really that much of a task.
I think on the first episodes, didn't we have Tara up here?
I think she came for one of them.
She came for one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
that
from
was
there,
that was that. Yeah.
A lot of background ponies
yeah,
back there have become very popular.
that's right.
They each have a name apparently.
I love Pinkie's hair.
Oh, I know.
So bouncy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Spike might have the same hairdresser. But that detail in the background, I kept thinking myself, all the animators have a heck of a time.
Look at the twists
It's
and the
so
streamers.
detailed, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The
it's-
subtleties of it all, the
coloration.
movement, and yeah.
It's really quite a challenge sometimes to have like all these brightly colored, rainbow-colored ponies, and then like a brightly colored background
Exactly,
with tons of
yeah,
colors,
that's
and
right.
like how do you balance out all those colors?
I mean, in the olden days too, you would be thinking of bleeding and contrasts and things like that. But with the new
Hot
digital technology, I mean, I guess I sure don't know about that in detail, but anything's possible.
Well, you've really pushed limits of what Flash can do.
Yeah, it's from years of experience, and with the program we've on previous series I've worked on, we've really worked out a lot of the kinks. So I learned what not to do and what we can do.
And so, Jason, what after all these episodes, would you say you guys have primarily or fundamentally changed, or are not doing, or are now adding? I mean, can you say now that after all this time, that there's signposts that you kind of adhere to?
Well, it's all about prep, I'd say. Like we prepare the models, we prepare the characters, and make them easy to animate and have lots of versatility. And then we have talented people posing them and preparing them for animation. And then, the animators know exactly what we're asking them to do. We're not just giving them one pose and they have to come up with everything after that. Here's those birds. Will Anderson, the score composer, had a hard time with those birds, trying to get them to sing properly. I remember he struggled with that.
Did he use actual
And
birds? Is that why?
No, he had like professional
You're getting
whistlers come
animals to
in.
sing.
It's really
on
hard to
cue.
train birds, Jason.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
But
it's not just a simple thing.
Ask the expert.
we asked him to do it several different times, and he just finally he got it right. But
What's that tune?
I think he hated me after that.
Andrea?
Yes.
Mayor Merritt made her first appearance in this episode as well.
What a pleasure for Mayor Mare.
She's not naturally gray.
No.
No, that's a choice. That's a choice. And where does she
gray,
get
it's
her
white.
glasses? Yeah.
Sparkling
Silver, silver.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Trouble.
Here comes trouble. Well, not for Spike. He's all excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how you design the eyes of the ponies and Spike.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The reflection and yeah.
I was floored when I saw her mane, like, you know, animating so fluidly like that. Nightmare Moon. It was. I wasn't sure how that was gonna work in Flash. We spent a lot of time trying to make the ponies' tails animate, but.
Well, you based that off Tabitha's hair, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking of your ponytail there, Andrea.
That's her battle pony.
That's right.
see the signs. I did. And I know
I slept for 1,000 years, and I
Well, you
still
still
feel
look tired.
Well, we don't know she slept.
Ask Twilight. She can
She
use
was in
little magic
prison.
She
on
was
you.
in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was thinking of nefarious things to do.
Yeah.
It was a really packed first episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really packed in every way.
And
Yeah.
the villain wasn't introduced until like the last scene here. And the whole episode was basically just introducing characters, and it's great that we had that. Whoa.
Love it. Woohoo.
See, it still affected you. See?
Yeah, it does. You know, animation-wise, I think we've actually come a long way since that first episode.
I just want to laugh. Sorry.
Whatever.
Just escape sometimes. I have no inside voice.
I applaud the speed of the credits. I can read these. Do you notice that? There's like